Welcome. I like that. Welcome to your Synastry chart report. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope you gain the utmost of quality from this report. Okay. As you can see, we do have, I want to make sure I got the dates right, birthday chart between, of course, Sun in Leo and Sun in Cancer. Classic Sun-Moon combination. We know that you have your moon 28 degrees in Leo, and he has his moon in Aries. So this is very interesting off the bat. The first thing I'd like to mention indirectly is the cardinal and fixed states of the cardinal and fixed states of your natures. So he is more a cardinal character. He has a master critical personality in Virgo, and ironically, you have a powerful personality. You're the warrior, like how your moon trines your rising. But you're fixed. So you're a lot more stubborn and you're a lot stronger. He's a lot more forceful and powerful or direct. Okay. And that already is interesting. We also see that, of course, what's common to see in a married couple's chart is a partner's moon falling in your first house. Even though it falls in your 12th, it's aligned with your first. And this may cause you to match moods with each other. And not just match moods with each other, but align with how each other's feels. Okay? And on top of that, on that vein, this puts you in such a position to realistically challenge each other. Although in the case of the moon, you'll find that your partner here, Damien, understands your personality and literally directly feels you. So it's really a good look. We also see right off the bat that, of course, your moons are compatible. It's way more important to see moon sign compatibility than it is to see, of course, sun sign compatibility. So even though your suns are not traditionally compatible, right? Your moons are. And so that emotional understanding always helps you get over potential spiritual clash. Mainly because Leo and Cancer Sun works actually really well together until it doesn't. Then it could be a nightmare. Cancer is Leo's 12th house. So he is going to be considerably aware of your insecurities and your blind spots and your vulnerabilities. This is actually great. Him being born 91, he has Chiron here. And so he's going to trigger a lot of healing relative to this as well. We know that this, of course, falls into your 3rd house as an Aries rising and 4th house. So he develops and heals your attitude around how comfortable you are in your own home space. He's someone who you would invite into your own personal home space as well. And this really puts you in a position to realistically tap into so much of, change how you feel about the foundation upon which you achieve your career. It's also important because with his North Node in Capricorn, it's aligned with your North Node at the end of Cap, and with your legacy, which we'll speak on. Of course, your North Node progresses in a Sag, but regardless, this really influences very powerfully to put you in a position to realistically uplift you out of any stuck feelings or vulnerable potential zones. And then of course Leo is Cancer's second house, and it's interesting because see, now there we see certain things that I also believe linked both of you together. It's not a coincidence that both of you have both of you have Chiron on your sun. And even though yours is closer to your sun, both of you have healing linked to your spirit. So whereas he heals more your attitude around your spiritual beliefs and how you feel about your own home, you heal his self-esteem. You as a Leo make Cancer aware of their value and how passionately value are. You help develop their worth, their money, and you build their confidence. So Chiron here is helping to trigger and heal that sense of confidence, which is even cooler because you are his Jupiter. To give you context of this, my youngest sister is 15 degrees Cancer sun. My Jupiter is 15 degrees Cancer. And so she has always been like my guru. She's always been the channel to which to express my Jupiter in my chart. And one of my favorite people. And so that's what you will represent for him, where you bring expansion. You literally trigger expansion, okay, in his life. Especially ironically, because of his Virgo rising, you fall in his 11th, 12th house. So you transcend his beliefs around where he belongs. And you also challenge him as well to, change certain beliefs around certain blind spots or habits that may hold him back as well. There's the stellium here is really interesting because your Venus is 26 degrees Leo and your Mars is 24 degrees Leo. That's where your moon is. As a man, when my Mars is on a woman's moon, especially in fire, damn, that feels good. I'm gonna just be real. Ooh, and y'all got Mars Venus. Ooh, this is a sexually passionate connection. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Damn. Yeah, this is sizzling. This is tantalizing right here. Would you look at that? So I didn't even know you have Mars Venus. That in and of itself is even more traditional. But to see, first of all, to see his Venus is on your soul. He loves your soul. Like he loves who you are on the inside, but he also loves it too. If you know what I mean. Like with Mars here, it's very interesting. The moon, the woman with the moon will feel like you need to bear his kids, but in a more primal sense, it's so good sexually because like it's like a classic yin yang. You're literally feeling his sexual desire to be in you, to for you. You know what I mean? You're receptive to this. So like it stimulates this sexual vibe so much more. You want to think that your moon is literally it's literally attracting the Mars from him. And then with Venus and Leo, you're going to actually enjoy his sexual advances towards you too. And Jupiter, of course, will now, with his abundance, expand and evolve so much more in how this works. With the case of my younger sister, she sings, right? And Jupiter is in her 10th. My Jupiter's in her 10th. And so I provide a platform with which to manage and push her music out there. This is how I bring evolution to her. Like he'll be able to evolve you And because this is in your fourth, fifth house, this will really evolve the inner space with which you can creatively express yourself. But let's really talk about this fire. Okay, this is very passionate. Oh my goodness. The moon compatibility takes his raw emotions, because he's a warrior soul, and it connects it with your diva soul, because you are definitely a diva. You got Isis, you got Venus, you know what I'm saying? You are totally the solar, you're the warrior queen though. That's the cool thing about you. You fight with your warriors, right? But like, you will definitely hair flip too. You know you're fabulous. And this is important too, because you also have Saturn opposite your sun. So you represent this collective conflict where people could just be hating on you just because they jealous. Okay, let's just be real. And I will always say this to Leos, especially born 90s. Don't let these people just be jealous of you. Okay, like that's it. They're gonna make all these reasons like, well, it's because of this, and you just hair flip. Like, no, it's because you're jealous, ho. Okay, you have to say it like that with the hair flip. But it's interesting because his Jupiter will balance your Saturn. So the constrictive element that can sometimes inhibit you, he'll provide a buffer to expand more what's possible. Okay. It's also important because with so much stimulation here in the fourth, fifth, it really does inspire you like a muse would. And this will stimulate a lot of creativity and romance. We also see he has his Mercury in Leo. So this telepathically links you, and it connects your spirit with his brain. And so you will stimulate directly the way his mind processes creatively. That being said, I love to see now that your Jupiter is on his AC. Jupiter on the AC is such a good aspect. It's contagious. Jupiter literally provides so much abundance and expansion to the AC. You literally evolve his personality. A great example of this, which is opposite, is Kanye's effect on Kim, where Kanye had his Jupiter in her seventh house. And so he literally evolved their partnership. But you having it on his rising, right, will directly add so much more abundance to how much more confident he is expressing his personality. It's really good for friends too, and for lovers. Of course, the way that I want to interpret this Synastry chart, I don't want to focus it on romance. I want to focus it just as two souls. I only mentioned the fire because, I mean, that's sexy. That's very passionate. And so I'm just assuming y'all are together or whatnot. But regardless, you know, this earth connection here is going to really be a driving force of how you evolve each other. And that's what I like. His Jupiter affects your spirit and soul. Your Jupiter affects his personality. And because his rising is in your fifth, his personality aligns close to your sixth, your behavior. And he triggers the persona of your own habits, whereas you trigger the persona of his own boundaries. In the eighth house, that will trigger him to perhaps, you know, become more intimate with you. Mm-hmm. So that being said, if we look at the higher level and nature of what it is you're doing, this puts you in a position to realistically, really put this in a way that now indicates the deeper meaning of how realistically you personally help each other accomplish everything you're meant to accomplish. And so one of the first things I need to illustrate is that you being born in 92 and him being born in 91 put you in the same Saturn group. So this is like being in the same high school. Obviously, you would be a grade before and after each other, having you still be influenced by the same cultural influences. You heard the same music, you watched the same TV shows, or around the same growing up. That's the outer planet influence. The way to look at this is he was perhaps in the higher row of the Saturn aqua plane that incarnated all your souls. And you were right before the connecting flight to North Node Sagittarius. Okay. Both of y'all got out of the North Node cap. So your karmas are aligned and your destinies are aligned. Yeah, the destiny path you walk is definitely going to be different than the karma he has to establish. Okay. It's definitely going to be, not the same, but it's going to be in the same area. Y'all, of course, will have a different approach and perspective towards what it is that you personally deal with in this vein. But it's still going to align you generationally into this nature of, once again, how realistically you personally, achieve this element of what you're meant to achieve. And the reason, once again, why this is so very important is it really goes a long way towards evoking so much more shared success, where even if indirectly you will influence each other towards achieving this. So if we once again kind of bring this back to, if we once again bring this back to how realistically you're in a position to very powerfully tap into this, right? It definitely goes a long way towards how uniquely you personally, in your perspective, achieve your goals. So as a Virgo rising, all of this Capricorn aqua energy, power and energy is his 5th and 6th house. This influences more directly how realistically the development of your career goals impacts his creativity and lifestyle. Of course, Saturn in his 6th and your Saturn in his 6th will align your karma towards, and his karma towards the implementation and integration of advanced lifestyle techniques that bring greater advancement into how you live your life and into how he lives his life. And also into how he is able to serve others in developing and influencing how to apply advanced techniques to their lifestyle. Okay. The destiny pool for you in his 5th house is going to directly innovate and trigger creativity and develop his talent. This is important because both of your nodes are in Cap. Even though yours is more towards Sag, this is what, because this is in your 10th house, now reverse, take his development of creativity and how he develops his talents and inner child to help guide you towards your career goals. And of course, attached to the 11th, tighten your social circle and attach you towards a group of people who aren't full of crap and, actually winners. Oh, yeah. And aren't jealous of you. Okay. I don't mean that as a joke, because it could really be frustrating now with Saturn opposite you and Uranus square you. It could Of course, because in the case where the Leos don't have integrity, then they're being called out for their narcissism. But in the case where they do, y'all just can't let people play you like they're trying to play you. Okay. And thankfully, this last year is the conclusion where we're going to see. Let's take Tory Lanez, for example. Like, it's not a coincidence that this is the last year that Saturn's going to be in Aquarius. And this is finally the last year of the trial proceedings where we're going to see what the people will decide. Okay. But other than that, this is very interesting because when we look at the composite chart now, we see that both of you meet in Cancer in the first house and you have the moon in Gemini. So both of you have a legendary enlightened soul connection, which is angelic in nature. And both of you are enlightened priests. You carry the vibration of enlightened sincerity, the holy or the angelic priests. This is important because you have Isis and Osiris meeting together. Whenever I see composite Isis and Osiris meeting together, it's an indication of a twin flame connection. That doesn't even need to mean that you're both twin flames, but you share a textbook twin flame connection. I'm going to say that again. It doesn't mean that both of you are twin flames, but you do share a twin flame connection because Osiris and Isis are originally seen as twin flames. And so seeing both of them unite means that you both feel this. There is a deep feeling to this relationship that you identify with mutually. And Mars here in Cancer on the South Node unlocks the personality of this partnership in order to instill this sense of authority. The ruler of your seventh house of partnership is Saturn, karma. This makes this a karmic partnership. And karmic partnerships are not, the whole notion that karmic partnerships are worse than soulmates and twin flames is a lie. Like, the more important a relationship is, the more karmic it's going to be. So this really means that both of you were destined to be together. Whenever you see the North Node in the seventh, both of you are destined to take some kind of action or work together. Uranus and Neptune in the seventh can denote long distance relationship. It's an unconventional relationship you're establishing and destined to establish, whether it's a business partnership, romantic, friends. This will mean that both of you will get together near instantly. Okay. You may not do things the traditional conventional way, or you may not be supposed to. Okay. And on top of that, with Venus and Chiron and Mercury in the second, you're both healing how valuable you find courage with each other. And Jupiter will add so much abundance to how you manifest the value of this critical attitude. All right. So yeah, very powerful. Saturn has returned. It's in the eighth. You draw very extraordinary boundaries together to invest in a lot of your creativity collectively with the right people. But you have to believe in what both of you telepathically pick up together at a soul level, because your Leo moon and his Aries moon meets enlightened in Gemini. And that passionate fire enables both of you to have a lot to communicate about. Regardless, though, because we're coming into Cancer season this July and Pluto's in the seventh, you've been awakening the transformationist connection, and you'll come into more clarity with the eclipse in your 11th, the identity of this partnership than ever. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Synastry report. You stay blessed as always, and until next time, peace.